All right. So I'm going to share my screen now. I said I'm going to share my screen now. Can you hear me? All right. So once you can see my screen, you let me know. All right. Can you see my screen now? All right. What are your questions? Questions. I'm still waiting for the questions. Okay. You've already gotten the answer to your question. All right. All right. So since there's no question right now, as you can see on the screen right now, uh, this is a very good example of what we'll be talking about support and resistance. All right. So right here, if I'll draw the resistance zone here, let's quickly do that. So we've already explained the rules of resistance zone. So this is a resistance zone. Okay, yeah. Let me take all this one out. Resistance zone here. This is another resistance zone here. All right. You can see this was the resistance zone, right? That's what the price is there. It was resisting, right? Came down, resisted. So what we are looking whenever price coming, we are looking to sell, right? That's how we catch a trade through trading resistance, right? But once it breaks the resistance zone, what do we say? What's the rule of resistance? One of the rule of resistance which states whenever resistance zone is broken, it turns towards turns to support. Can you see what happens? So as you know, we to catch this trade, upon the break and turn to support, what do we do? We come there and we place our buy from here. All right, are you busy? Can you hear me? All right, so since it's out, resistance zone. This is for USD card. So basically, I've narrowed down my the currency I look at, narrow them down. So I've been trading consecutively. I've been trading different pairs, losing back to back. I've had like massive losing streak. Just little bit of winning and major losses. Right? I've had major losses. This month started out very good. The first week of this month, I had like winning streak on the first week of the month. But from the second week, I got busy. Second week, so I was trying to trade while I was busy, and I got a major loss. Right. So, one thing I've learned, I won't trade whenever I'm busy with something else. I won't be on the chart because I didn't have a major loss because I was not focused on the chart. I had a major loss because I was trying to blend my business schedule with my chart. I was trying to force them together, and that was what made me have a major loss, very major loss. And so currently, once I'm busy, I don't trade. Right? Though I missed out on the move because I was busy. I was not really focused on the chart. I was on the wrong side of of the trade. Right? I didn't focus on the chart. So this same thing lesson I learned made me narrow down my trading. Right? It made me cut some things out and focus on things that matters. So I just narrowed them down. So I keep filtering things that will make me have a bad trade. I keep filtering them back to back. Keep on adding more risk to my trading there. Right, and more things I now look out for, or few things I've narrowed down what I'm looking out for on my trading setup, which is basically support and resistance. That's basically the only thing I'm looking out for on my trading setup. Welcome back. All right. So, so currently right here on USD2, as I was talking about. All right. So, basically, just support and resistance is the thing I'm just looking out for in my trading, right? I I've realized the more you reduce things to look out for, the better your chances of getting good trade. The more simplified your strategy is, the better your chances. Can you hear me now? So I said the more simplified your strategy is, right? The better your trading, right? Because trading is not about strategy alone, right? Strategy is just like it's very bits, many bits uh importance of trading, right? All right. So trading out of 100%, strategy is 10% of trading. Can you hear me? Are you using an earpiece or you're hearing from your phone? Oh, okay, okay, okay. I guess that's why you are finding it difficult to hear me. All right. So I guess in trading, strategy is like 10% of trading, right? That is why your strategy has to be as simple as possible. So basically, what I trade is just support and resistance. Apart from support and resistance, I don't trade any other thing, right? Support and resistance. I just look at support and resistance in different dimensions, right? In different dimensions. That's what we'll be talking about as we go. But in this class, we're talking about resistance. Once you master resistance, right? Once you master resistance, you break good resistance. Whenever you see resistance zone set up, you will make a good cash out of it, right? Make a good money out of it, right? So that is basically how I do it. I use when I say I use support and resistance, right? I use in different dimensions, right? I use support and resistance in different dimensions. This is what I mean. I use trend line, I use psychology levels, I use support and resistance, I use high and low of the week. All these things I mentioned to you, they are all support, they are still serving as support and resistance in different dimensions. You understand? Trend line is a support and resistance in a diagonal dimension. Psychology level is support and resistance in a psychology dimension. High of the week is a support and resistance in its own way, right? So basically, that's what I look at support and resistance. Just using the rules of support and the rules of resistance. Once you follow the rules, you are good. You've gotten 10% of the trading, 10% of the trading, right? So once you just stick to it, and one thing also is the nature of the chart. You have to is to study to understand the nature of the chart, right? To understand the nature of the chart. So basically, about last month. That's when I narrowed my trading pairs to four, right? Narrowed them to four, right? Because I realized I'll be trading here, trading there, having like series of trading. But last month I realized those pairs that I made very good profit out of last month, right? I made some good profit out of Euro JPY, USD card, NZD card, and basically what I trade. I knew I made profits out of the news that came out, right? Because I've seen how to analyze the news, and I've done it back to back, and the news is always going in my direction. Once I make my analysis, once before the news, anyhow impacts me, it always goes or let's say it goes to my direction 90% of the time. So I've seen I've seen that support and resistance is all I need for trading, analyzing even the news and all. So and basically I narrowed them to four. That was last month, as I was saying, right? So this month I narrowed my pairs down to two, right? I've narrowed them from four. Now I'm looking at just two pairs, right? Last month I was looking at Euro JPY, USD card, GBP USD, and NZD card. So this month I narrowed them down to two, which is Euro JPY and USD card. Those are the two I'm looking at. Then maybe I'll be looking at GBP USD. That's not auxiliary. Whenever I see a particular setup, which does not occur all the time, right? But it occurs. I'll be checking it out and I see it be occurring and it's playing out, giving out his 50 pips or 100 pips whenever it occurs. So I'll just be looking at that one conservatively, not very much. But basically, I'm focusing on UAJPY and GB and USD card. So the nature of the pair matter. The way UJPY moves, right? Apart from the fact that they are candlesticks, right? The nature that they are moving, right? They have a nature when they are moving. Now that nature of the move, right? Support and resistance is part of every chart, but the candlestick itself has a pattern that it always moves, right? So you have to understand the pattern to be able to catch some good trades, right? So have good sniper entries and all, right? So using the same before we move, using the same support and resistance, I caught a trade from here, somewhere around here. This move from here, that was on Thursday. Yes, Thursday on Friday. Okay, yeah, yesterday was Friday. It was on Thursday I caught that move, right? Caught a move from here. Then on Friday I caught another move from somewhere around there. I think somewhere around there, yes. I caught another move from somewhere around there. Because of I caught the move because of the nature, right? I know there's support and resistance. I'm looking at support and resistance, but I also look at the nature of the chart, right? Because the nature I caused this move, and I'm still looking at this chart going higher than this, breaking here, coming like this, because of the nature. So let me take this one out to discuss support, to discuss resistance. That is the main focus now, and how we can catch trade here based on resistance zone and based on the rules of resistance. All right, and how I cause those trades based on this rule of resistance. Just simply following those simple rules, right? And understanding the nature, that's the simple thing I just did. Right? There's no need to do too much. All right, so understanding the nature takes time, right? It's not something that I can only explain the charts that I've understood the nature to you, right? But if you want to be trading other pairs, you have to sit down, to take your time to analyze. So I started analyzing Euro JPY when Euro JPY was somewhere around there. This is around June, right? June. I've been catching Euro JPY trades from here, around here, around May, June. There, to buy from here, I caught to sell from here, I caught to buy here. I've been catching this trade right from this point. So let me put a line there. So because I've been catching this trade for so long, right? Let me put a straight line there. So over time, right? Over time, you can see over time I've seen the way it's moving. I caught a trade from here. From this upward move, I caught a trade down here. I was catching this buy up to this point. But I missed out on this sell, right? Because that was the time I was busy, right? I was busy. This happened last week, right? This happened last week during the CPI news of CPI. So I've been looking at these charts ever since I started trading it. Well, the first time I traded Euro JPY, I was opportunity to have a very good entry, right? I caught a very good pick, right? I made like I fixed like accounts, right? First time I traded it. So I started looking at the trade that, oh, if I can make this kind of profit for the first time, let me focus on it. So if I was focusing on it, I started making good profit. Though I made some losses as well. I blew some accounts trading Euro JPY, right? But uh, remember, once you make good profit, right, you realize how it's moving, right? That doesn't mean you won't make loss. There will be some time, even if you are correct with your strategy, you still have some wrong things you maybe did on the chart. So I made some mistakes on the chart, and and that was what made me had those losses. But I realized over time that okay, trading this USDT by following some particular rules, right, is going to help me become profitable. That's why I've been trading it. Of course, I already have the idea that this buy is going to end up here for my strategy, right? Using support and resistance. I knew this buy was going to end here and sell. So I was busy at this point. That's why I didn't carry this to this point, right? From here now, What I'm looking at is this buy is going to from here and get back up here. That's what my strategy is telling me, right? So that's why I caught a buy from here, and I can easily say I want to hold that buy to get up here because uh, that's what I believe is going to do based on my strategy, right? I knew this buy was going to end here as well, and it did it, right? So I will stick to strategy. And so since it's followed this my strategy to this point, it's going to still follow it back up here. So it's still going back up there. That's what I'm looking at. But if it's not go back up there in a street form, it will go like this. But this thing I'm telling you is basically this resistance zone that I'm using to place this trade. Do you understand? That's what I want to make you understand. This resistance zone I want to discuss right now, that's what you are using to place this trade. All right. So let's move in. So since you asked me a question, say how do I understand the nature? So because I've been trading it from this point, the way I've seen it move, right? The candlestick formation that is giving me. So I used that as a what? As a leverage from me. I said, okay, since I've been seeing how the way it's moving, and this is zero G point that is occurring in this present let's say present past or this initial moments, right? Not very far, like last month, right? Since this is the way it's occurring, right? It's definitely going to be occurring that same way in the present, and it has been occurring the same way it did here, the same way it acted down here. That's the same way it has been acting here. So I've noticed it. I noticed it that was on Thursday when I took that trade. You can see the way it's moving from here. The manner is moving. Come down, go up, come down, go up, come down. Right? Can you see? So that's the same manner. You can see the way it's moving here. Can you see? Yeah, it's like consolidating upward. So that's the manner it's moving upward. But it's going to be an upward trend. That's the same way it's moving right here. Can you see the same way it moved here? That's the same way it's moving here. So that's like a pattern of of an uptrend that it follows. So whenever it's going an uptrend, it follows that kind of pattern. Whenever it's coming in a downtrend, it follows another kind of pattern. Can you see what happened there? Look at this pattern that happened here. Look at this point. After another one you do, it flips down immediately. What happened again? It flipped up, flips down again, right? Can you see this? That's the downtrend pattern, right? Look at what happened here again. It came down with that same impulse move. It went up, it came down again. Can you see it's the same thing? Yes, I'm starting an uptrend. From here, you can see it's starting an uptrend. From here, it's starting the uptrend. So that's the pattern that it's following. So whenever he wants to go in a downtrend, I already know the way it's going to move. It's going to move like impulsive, right? But whenever it's going in the uptrend, right, it's going to start to give us like some crawling uptrend. So that is what is the way it's behaving right now. That is the way it's behaving right now. Yeah, and the nature. That's all you need. Resistance support and the nature of the chart. You don't need to know. All right, so that's a very good question. So I can trade like that, right? I can trade like that. That's a very good way to also trade. I can trade once it comes to resistance, I sell. Once it comes to support, I look for another entry and I buy based on what you guys the nature it's going, right? I can easily do that, right? So that's one good thing. That's one good way to look at it, right? Another way to look at it is based on the trend of the market, right? I can see this market is going in an uptrend, right? So I'll be looking for more of buy, right? If I want to buy and close, buy and close. If I want to buy and hold, I can buy and hold it to get higher, right? That is another way for me to trade it. I know if I'm buying it and I'm holding it, I'm still going to be having something like this. Let's say I bought it for, you understand? I'm still going to be having up, down, up, down. So I can easily buy close, sell close, buy close, or I buy and hold. So that is two options I have for this trade. Yes, I swing, like I swing the trade. I buy it and hold it for days. Yes, I can buy it. What I mean by holding it for days, I'll buy it, I'll put a stop loss, but I won't put a take profit. Or I'll increase my take profit to a point, to somewhere like here. I'll increase it somewhere like here. But before it's going to get, it's going to take maybe 2 weeks or so. Before it gets up here. Yes, if it's going to get here, it's going to take 2 weeks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Basically, I had to set my stop loss not if it wants to be even big, right? It should not be bigger than 30 pips. But I set it like 60. If my stop loss is going to be big, right? Right? It's going to be very big. It should not be bigger than 30 pips, right? But I like to set it around 19 pips. 19 pips, 20 pips thereabouts. It's based why I want to set my stop loss very small is because I want to be risking very little. Right. And secondly, if I want to make my entry to set that kind of stop loss, I have to understand the nature, right? And make that just like when I did enter a trade there, right? The trade didn't give me any drawdown, right? It just came up my entry and boom, it went higher because I understand that the price will definitely come to that point based on the nature of the chart, right? So, so nature of the chart is something we'll discuss more on uh another class. But this one, I'm just trying to let you know that you don't need to know so much, right? Support resistance, look at it in maybe different dimensions, right? Then just to have other looks on the chart, that I have to look at it in different dimensions. Then secondly, uh, the nature, that's all. Support and resistance in different dimensions and the nature of the chart, right? So now resistance is what we are focusing on. Once we can master resistance, we can actually enter trade and make profit. All right, the nature of the chart is chart pattern. So what do you understand by chart pattern? What do you understand by chart pattern? I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. Can you come again? You say you are downloading what? All right. So what did you say about chart pattern? Or what did you hear about chart patterns? So we can talk about. Okay. When it is a downtrend, you go for sell. When it's an uptrend, you go for buy. Okay. Okay. So that's like trending the trending market. All right. The trend is your only friend in the market. Trend is your only friend. Apart from the trend, I don't know what else is your friend in the market. There's something else I don't know, right? Apart from the trend, right? Your trend is the only friend. If it's in a downtrend, you sell. If it's in an uptrend, you buy. Never go against the trend. All right. So you can see right here, the way the chart is moving. So if on this another trade here, we wait for this price for us to come to resistance, right? Then we'll do what? Sell. All right, we sell. So this is what we're expecting next week. If it comes here, we sell, right? Okay, this is the resistance zone, right? Okay. So this was the initial resistance. Was it? Is it going to be here? Okay, my stop loss. Okay, this is my stop loss here. You see, how am I going to set my stop loss? I'm going to set it above. I'm going to set my stop loss above this guy. I'm going to set my stop loss above this candlestick guys here. This one right here. My stop loss is going to be above here. I see it above here, like that. Because this is the resistance zone and this is the highest point the resistance zone got to, right? So we're expecting two moves here. It's either it comes here, I sell from here, or or it comes here and breaks it. Once it breaks it, I'll wait for it to come here, right? Which is the rule of also the rule of what? Resistance zone. Rule of resistance zone. Remember, this two trade we are about to take is based on the rule of what? Of resistance zone, right? This two trade is based on the rule of resistance zone. Now remember the first trade, this first trade here is what? Whenever price comes to resistance, it should do what? Sell. As you can see, the price came, it sold, it came, it sold, it came, it sold. So as if we come here again, it's going to sell. Right? That's one rule of resistance. Right? Another rule of resistance is what? If the resistance zone get broken, right? This comes what? Support. So this is the rule of resistance we have used to us to analyze this market. All right. So when I told you I caught a trade around this point, right? That is also the rule of resistance. Caught a trade around this point because I followed the rule of resistance so that I could catch that trade, which states that what whenever resistance zone is what broken, it turns to what support, right? That's why I was able to catch this trade. That's the same thing I expecting here. Okay, I can hear you. Was like what 0.1. Can you come again? I didn't get your question. Yes, yes. Okay. 0.04. Are you seeing the number from this screen or you're just making the numbers up? Okay, you can use this number here on the screen. This one here. So you're saying if my stop loss is at where? My stop loss is currently at one. Look at my stop loss here. So there, above the place I settled is 171879. All right. So if I want to set my take profit, right? I'll either set my take profit based on the next point. Remember when resistance is broke, it wants to support, right? This is the support zone it created. So I'll set my take profit on that support zone. Okay, remember, if you are selling, your stop loss will be above, your take profit will be below. If you are buying, your stop loss will be below, your take profit will be above. So it answer your question. So if you are selling, remember you are selling, the price is going down, that's why you are selling, right? So it's going to sell downwards. So your take profit needs to be below the price because you are selling. All right. So any question? All right. Yeah. Once it breaks the puzzle, yes. Yeah, you have to wait for it to come here to touch this, to touch it, to touch it. Touching is meaning it is making the support zone. That is where you take the trade. That's the same way you did there. This was the resistance zone, right? After it broke, it, what happened? You won't enter the trade. You wait. You wait for it to do what? Come back. So from here, yes, you take your trade from here. From here, that's where you take it. All right. If you have to wait because and if you enter the trade, you might end up in loss. Remember, we are trading only support and resistance, right? So whenever it breaks it, if you place a trade from this side, right, you will definitely in the long run end up in loss, right? So, but if you are following this same simple rule of this resistance zone, which states once it breaks it, you wait for it to come back to that zone that it broke. You can see this is the place it broke, right? You wait for it to come back to that point that it broke and then that is where you start to enter your trade because the rule states that once it get broken, it returns to support zone, right? So wait for it to come back here. That is where you say, okay, this is where you are expecting to come to support based on the rule, right? In trading, we follow the rules. We follow the rules. It might end up being wrong, right? But we just follow the rules. So in the long run, following the rules, that's what end us up being profitable. So so you can see the same thing happened. That's the same thing we are expecting here. The same move. So you trade crypto, right? So we're moving to crypto to talk more on crypto. After we talk about one more forex pair, then we take one more forex pair, then we'll move to crypto and talk about situations on crypto. You can see the same move. It broke, it came back here. That's something we're expecting next week. If it breaks, it's going to come back. It's going to replace the same move, like a pattern. It's also called the chart pattern, right? You can see the pattern is forming. It's going to be the same pattern in the next week. What we are looking at, right? This breaks here. We're looking for it back. So let me take these ones out. Or let me just leave it there. Let me go to USB card. You can see we have a resistance zone here. I was talking about resistance. The resistance zone resting up here. Can you see? This is on the daily time frame. So this is telling us that if the price comes here, whenever the price ever comes here, right? You need to do what? Sell. Why? Why? Because whenever the price comes here, it does what? It's selling. Comes here, this is what? It sells. It comes here, this is what again? It sells. If it comes here again, you can see from here, it's selling. If it comes here again, it sells. All right, so this is the daily. Let's go to okay. All right, so once we move to support, right? I'll give you the rules of support. So you use the rules of support to draw support zone. You understand? Remember the rule of resistance zone. That's what we are using. Number one, it must be found above the chart, right? Number two, whenever price of the resistance zone is going to sell, right? That's rule number two. Rule number three, it must occur two or more times, right? Right? A value resistance zone must occur. This is one, this is two, so this is already valid, right? Number three is what? Uh, whenever resistance zone is broken, what? If this thing ever got broken, if you come back and go up like this, yes, before it takes it. That is basically resistance. Support. We are talking about support. Okay, if you reach your take profit, your trade is going to close. So we are talking about resistance, right? Not support. So just following the rules of resistance zone. All right, so let's go to 1 hour. All right, so basically what I do is because am a day trader basically, but I also have a swing trading strategy, right? I have a swing trading strategy. Yes, I also have a swing trading strategy, and for scalping, I have like a good entry for scalping. Right? If I want to enter a trade, right? If I want to have a very good entry, I want my stop loss to be like 6 feet or 10 feet or 13 feet or 15 feet, right? I'll use my scalping idea to catch to make sure I have a very good entry, very good sniper entry, risk very little, right? And if I'm using that 13 feet stop loss or 10 feet stop loss, right? I want to be targeting at least 50 people or 60 people. All right, so I said basically I'm a day trader. Right? I have a swing trading strategy, right? And I have a scalping idea of entering a trade. So that's I use basically those the knowledge to make my trades. Use a small tight, a very tight stop loss. I like to make my stop loss less than 20 pips by all means, right? By all means, I have to wait until it comes to my that point where I will use that very small stop loss. So for if I want to place the trade, the time frame I use basically I look at the daily time frame, right? Once I look at the daily time frame, I'll look for the resistance zone because you're talking about resistance. Now, if I want to place this trade, let's come look at my daily time frame. I'll look at the resistance zone. You can see the resistance zone on daily time frame, right? Can you see it? Then I'll go to 4 hours time frame and look for another resistance zone. Now, 4 hours, what are you seeing here? You are seeing a big resistance zone, but from here you can still see another resistance zone, right? Can you see the resistance zone here on these 4 hours? Can you see it? There's a resistance zone around this point, right? Then I go to 1 hour. This is just basically how I trade, right? I've seen what resistance zone on 1 hour as well. This same resistance zone. Can you see the price is already on resistance zone? So what should I be expecting from here? One of the rule of resistance zone is what you can see whenever price comes to resistance zone, it will sell, right? Sell. Come there to do what? Sell. Come there to do what? So like this. So again. Come there to do what? Sell. Come to do what? Sell. Now the price is currently there. What am I expecting to do? Alright, so this will be my trade right here. So next week I'm expecting. Yes, yes, but I'm seeing what I'm following the rule of resistance zone, right? Rule of resistance zone. I just have to follow the rule. If I'm wrong, fine, I follow the rule, right? So in the long run, following the rule consistently in the long run is going to give me more profit than loss, right? Just follow the rule, right? You will not end up winning all the trades, right? But you end up winning in the long run following this rule. So follow the rule which states, okay, whenever price comes there, you sell. But if price breaks it, right, you wait for it to come back, then you do what? You buy. So that is what we are looking at. So from next week, I'll be expecting to sell, right? To sell on this trade. Yeah, if it does not break it, I'll sell. So you can see I'll be risking very small pip, about maybe 14 pip of targeting 100 pip. Yes, I'll wait for next week and wait for the price to come back here, to come back to the resistance zone. That's where I want to enter so that I will be risking very little.